My favorite thing to do every year at CES is to go to all of the gaming tech displays. I'm talking ASUS, Gigabyte, MSI, Thermotech, and so many more. I know, no new graphics card this year, and we can save the conversation of RAM prices for the comment section below. But outside of that, there's still some cool things coming in the gaming tech space. So let's talk about it. First and foremost, I started off with my first tour at the ASUS booth, where I saw what has me super excited is the ProArt 5090 SFF card. Now this is a 2.5 slot design, baby. And you guys know I like to build small form factor PCs, so I need to get my hands on that. ASUS, please. It's double vented in the back plate. It has dual 115 millimeter fans. All air passes through directly through, so you know, cool air in, hot air out. It's not like the other designs, typically like air would come and then pass out the back of the PC and things like that. It also has liquid metal cooling, and there's a USB-C port on the back. Now ProArt is their line is geared towards more productivity and creatives, but you can still game with that thing. So I still would love to put that in my builds, as I do both. I am a video editor, content creator, as well as I love the game. Now they also have a ProArt B850 creator Wi-Fi motherboard, which is just making their ProArt motherboards a little bit more accessible without you having to break the bank. I do want the X870E because I have a 10 gigabit network I just built, but I would still cover the B850 creator Wi-Fi and show you guys that one has dual 5 gigabit Ethernet on the back, and you can always add a 10 gigabit Ethernet adapter. Now another cool thing that was at the ASUS booth, which is super exciting, the ROG X-Rail R1 XR glasses, which is super dope. But what's very impressive is they have a 240 hertz refresh rate. Built for gamers, baby. Micro OLED, full HD, 171 inch screen at 4 meters away, a 57 degree FOV. And you can put prescription lenses in there, because I need that. ASUS, it's gonna be a busy year, player. Moving on to the ROG motherboards, the super cool impressive thing was this AIO Q connector on their higher end tier motherboards, which is super dope because this minimizes cables. This makes it easier to build. This will be on their X870E Glacial and Dark Hero motherboards. And this is dope. And the AIO that supports it is super fire because it has this big magnetic screen. You just put it on there, but the fact that it has this magnetic connector, which would typically require like 3 cables, one for the pump fan, one for the CPU monitoring, and another one for RGB and all that. They just scratched all that and just made it magnetic. Now, on those higher end compatible motherboards, you'll be able to plug in 2 Gen 5 M.2 SSDs while still maintaining X16 bandwidth for your GPU slot. That's clutch. I've had people sometimes when I'm building a PC wonder why I didn't put the M.2 Gen 5 in right under the slot where the GPU was, is because a lot of times when you do that, typically it would cut you down to X8 bandwidth. But now you can use 2 Gen 5 M.2s and still maintain X16. It's pretty impressive. Now another favorite thing, if you guys haven't seen on my channel, I just covered the ROG G700 pre-built PC. My first ever pre-built covered, and I was actually impressed. Now, I went out to New York for the CES preview before CES, and I got to see this ROG G1000 pre-built. And this is the pre-built of all pre-builts. This is the creme de la creme of pre-builts, and it was here at the CES booth as well. And this thing is crazy. And by crazy, I mean 9950 X3D, RTX 5090, X870 motherboard, a 420 millimeter AIO, and its own dedicated chamber for that AIO, which has its own separated cool air suction and exhale. Man, listen, this thing is user upgradable, and to top it off, you have this unique ROG anime hollow. Basically, it's a holographic fan. And honestly, I just can't wait to get my hands on that G1000. All right, let's talk ROG OLED monitors. Let's start with the PG27 UC-WM. This is a 27-inch 4K tandem RGB OLED monitor, which can run 4K 240 Hz as well as Full HD 480 Hz. Now, this is True Black 500 HDR, DisplayPort 2.1A with 80 gigabits per second, HDMI 2.1, and USB-C with 90 watt power delivery. Now, the coolest thing about this new tandem RGB stripe OLED is the sharper text edges without color fringing or distortion. Now, I'll show you a great example that I just saw at another brand's booth has a great display and just visual of this technology. Now there's also a 34-inch RGB QD OLED monitor called the PG34WCDN, which is an 1800R curved display. Now the cool thing is you get this black shield film, which yields 40% perceived better black levels, also adds a 2.5x better scratch resistance. Hello. Now you guys know I love my OLED gaming monitors. I switched to OLED and have not looked back since, and I'm not going back. Except in creative workflows, because sometimes like mini LED or LED just works better over there. Now I'm excited to test this not only in a desk setup situation, but on the sim racing rig. Now another cool thing from ROG is the Zephyrus Duo gaming laptop. Have you ever wanted dual screens in your laptop? Well, they got you. Intel Core Ultra RTX 5090 up to a 135 watt TGP Wi-Fi 7 90 watt hour battery. The works. 3K OLED 120 Hz 100% DCI P3 and HDR 1100 nits. Boy, oh boy. And there's some cool things I want to do with ProArt this year, because I want to do this creative series. You guys will see it coming soon. Comparing like my Apple creative workflow to a PC Boss Hog workflow, and just seeing what is the the differences between the ecosystem, which one actually tailors to me more. And in my searching, hopefully you'll find what'll work for you best. Now I have to talk about these headphones because I'm big on audio, and these are 100mm Hi-Fi Man planar magnetic drivers. They're open back, they're wired, and they're for those who are like me when it comes to gaming audio, and I just can't wait to get my hands on these and give these a try. Now I don't call myself an audiophile because those people are snobbish, but since I have a background in audio engineering, I'm somewhat of an audio snob, but I don't take it that serious. I don't knock it though. Now before I move on out of ASUS, I want to speak to a few other ProArt products, as I am a creator myself. Now, I'm waiting to get my hands on this ProArt P16 laptop to go head to head against my MacBook Pro. This has AMD with an RTX 5090 combo, something I'm looking forward to because, AMD is a little bit more efficient, power hungry on the 5090, but hey, now another thing that ASUS's ProArt is bringing is their own color calibration tool, which will work with a ton of their monitors, and honestly, I need that. As someone, I'm in the midst of trying to test also monitors, the best monitors to use, jumping in between, Apple specific monitors and non-Apple monitors. So that's coming, but color calibration is a thing, and it gets kind of sticky when you get with Apple, but there's a lot of monitors being manufactured from brands like ASUS, ProArt, and MSI and Gigabyte that will work well with the whole color science of Apple. Now, carrying on, I just brought them up. Let's talk about Gigabyte, baby. Okay, so I pulled up on Gigabyte Aorus as well, and they announced their new X870 X3D motherboards with X3D Turbo Mode 2.0. They have an Arrow Wood and Stealth colorway, as well as this super high-end AI top motherboard, which I wouldn't mind looking at that because that has 10 gigabit Ethernet on there. Now, I also look forward to overclocking with their X3D, Turbo Mode 2.0, because there's claims of seeing 10 to 20% performance improvements across the board, and in some workloads up to 30% of gains. Now, Aorus also has this RTX 5060 Ti AI box, which this eGPU has a really cool GPU selector feature that allows you to assign your programs to which GPU you want them to run on. I think it would be cool to use with some gaming handhelds, and it's also good if you guys have like Ultrabooks or something that may not have the most powerful GPU. This is an option. Now, the Aorus RTX 5090 Infinity Boss Hog top-end GPU. This has this new WindForce Hyperburst cooling system featuring a separated PCB design. Now this enables, the airflow basically to come straight through. Cool air in, hot air out type of design. You're starting to see this become a new trend with the, third-party GPUs, and I'm here for it. When you guys look at the Founders Edition and what they did with the pass-through air, and then you start to see the third parties get into it, this is pretty cool. But what's really cool about the Gigabyte one is it has a hidden center fan that's cleverly placed there for when you push high heavy workloads to target a specific area for cooling. So that's really cool. So even though it looks like just the two fan design. It actually still has the third one, and it's very small, and it allows for the overall GPU, you know, footprint to be a bit smaller. Now, their laptop lineup, they also have a real showstopper, and it's their gaming A18. Now, this thing is super slim at just 20 millimeters thin, and yet it's capable of driving up to a RTX 5080 laptop GPU. I like when laptops get thin and still also maintain thermals, and you know, it's a balancing act, so if you can pull it off, I'm all for it. And then there's the Aorus Master 16. That's their statement piece, baby. And that's the Boss Hog laptop. So you can get AMD Ryzen 9955HX 3D paired with the GeForce RTX 5090 laptop GPU. Now this has a 230 watt total thermal power, 99 watt hour battery, Wi-Fi 7, 16x10, 2.5K, 240 Hertz OLED with true HDR 1000, 100% DCI-P3. Not bad. Also, there will be more OLED monitors from Gigabyte this year. I'm looking forward to covering some Gigabyte OLED monitors. They have some on display, OLED and QD OLED, and the works, baby. The Black Shield, the Hyper Knit stuff and all that, yeah. Yeah, as soon as I get the details. Now, before I round this out, I also stopped at MSI's booth. They had some really cool monitors as well. They had this one, I forgot what they're calling it, man, but it had this owl, and this thing is just super great for colors and pop, and is for creators or like productivity, and it's gonna be very Mac friendly. Looking forward to that. They had another, like, it was kind of like a, ultra wide style, and that was the one that had that RGB stripe or 5th generation QD OLED, and it had the magnifying glass so you could see how much more improved the lettering is. And I appreciated that. Instead of just talking about it, they gave you something to look up close and see the improvements. They also had a crazy GPU, like their version of some crazy RTX 5090 something. It was, you know, listen, MSI, hook your boy up. Now, they have some really cool small SFF motherboards that are coming. They have some, you know, handheld, gaming handheld custom colors, as well as eventually they're gonna be cycling into some AMD chip versions of their Claw, which is really cool. And then you guys know the latest Intel, I think it's Panther Lake or whatever, is coming to handhelds. A lot of cool things coming in gaming tech. I don't wanna keep you too long. I wanted to just, you know, share some of these exciting things that I saw. You know, Thermotech has a bunch of sim racing rig goodness. They got all their colorful popping, you know, cases as usual. Man, they had a crazy small SFF power supply that had a lot of wattage too as well. Again, I don't want to keep you all day. My name is CJ. I know tech, so you don't have to, even though I know you know everything. You probably know everything I just told you just now, right?